Hey y'all, thanks for stopping in today. I've been getting quite a few requests on kind of supplies and things that I use, so I just wanted to make a quick little video here real quick and go over some of my absolute favorites. Here on the table I have a huge pile, so I'm going to go through each one of these and share kind of what I absolutely love when I make my mixed media and all of my art journaling and stuff. So as you can see, I have quite a bit of things. I don't use all of these things on every single piece. These are just some of my favorite things that I typically grab hold of and use when I'm doing my mixed media pieces or my art journaling pieces. So I'm going to shift everything off to the side, and then we're going to go through all of these individually. Okay, so let's start off with what I actually use as my surface. It just depends on what I'm actually doing. If I am creating a mixed media piece, I tend to use heavy-duty watercolor paper. This is a really heavy one. I can't remember what the actual weight on it is, but it's pretty heavy because I want it to be firm. This is a wooden canvas that I have just turned, you know, upside down. You can also use the inside if you want to make like a tray or anything cute like that. And then I just painted it with some white gesso so it can be primed and everything like that. I also sometimes will use old books. This is just a really old book that I found at a yard sale once. I love the pages, especially these edges here. So I bought this and I can use that. Or if I don't want to use the entire book, I can tear pieces out and use those as well, which is kind of really fun. And then my favorite thing to absolutely use is old magazines. I have a couple of subscriptions that I love reading, going through and everything. And then when I'm done, I will tear out some of the pages and use these as an actual art journal, which is really cool because the ones that I particularly subscribe to have really thick, really nice pages to them. So they make really good foundations for art journaling. Okay, and then the next thing is my brushes. These are just from Michaels. There are a couple of Filberts. I use acrylics mostly, so these are actually made for acrylics. They're a Royal and Lognickel. And then I use a palette knife. Typically, I don't use a whole lot of these. I just use one so that I can actually spread some stuff around on there. I don't typically use more than this one. I do have several others, but just the one. Okay, and then I love to use acrylic. I'm pretty much an acrylic artist. I don't use oils or watercolors or anything like that. So I will use Apple Barrel because I love the fluidity of it. It comes in some really great colors and it's not terribly expensive. I also will use an Artist Loft. This is just a heavier body acrylic than these ones here. These are craft acrylics. These are actually paint acrylics. This one here is a Liquitex, which is actually really super nice. They're an upgrade from this one if you don't like this particular brand. And these ones seem to have a lot more color consistency. These ones here soften a lot when I use them. These ones here stay nice and true to the actual color pretty much. One color that I definitely recommend and I use constantly in my work is a titanium white. So I have a ton of this on hand. It doesn't matter what brand you use. I would just definitely recommend a white of some sort. This is my lifesaver. I love this. And then what I use to put my collage pieces down or you know, anything else, like sometimes I will do pieces like this, and this is like a ribbon. It's a fabric of some sort. So what I use to put all that down and then my collage pieces in the back is a matte gel, and I can use that with my palette knife or my brushes, either one. This is what I recommend. I used to use Mod Podge quite a while ago, and I've discovered that it tends to get sticky when it gets hot. So I no longer use that. I've switched over to this. You can also use a gloss if you would rather. I just prefer matte just because it doesn't have that shine to it. Alright, so when it comes to my backgrounds on most of my pieces or art journal, I typically start with some kind of collage foundation. So I have this big old, it's this great big thick bin, and it is full of basically cardstock chunks. like all my little cute little goodies that I've used from a full sheet. You know, I've torn off pieces and now there's just these little random, you know, pieces of cardstock paper. There's also old pieces of books in here. I think there's some tissue paper. There's all kinds of just little treasures and goodies and stuff in here that I've collected through most of my work. Anytime I see something that I really love, I'll chunk it up and put it in here, or I'll tear out the whole page and put it in here and chunk it out later. I will also do that with magazines. If I see a picture that's got some really cool texture or some really cool colors or anything like that, I will pull that out and I can use that as part of my collaging. So some of that is in here. One of my favorite things to use is I love text in most of my work, not handwritten text or anything like that. I like it in the background usually. So I go through magazines and I tear out a lot of their writing just because I absolutely love having writing in there. Like you can see this one here is just out of a book. This is a page. It's one of my favorite pieces of paper. I get it at Hobby Lobby. Let me see if I can find a bigger piece. So it's just got this really pretty script on it. It's really pretty. So I just tend to like that one. It's really nice. And that's what I use for most of my backgrounds when I'm making my collage. And last but certainly not least is what I use for my mark making. I use several different things. It just depends on kind of what I'm creating and what the mood of it is. So I love Prismacolor pencils, colored pencils. These pencils are amazing. They have a really nice soft core to them, and they're very vibrant. So I really love these for adding details and mark making and all of that stuff there. One of my other favorites is actually Arteza acrylic markers. I just love the vibrant colors, and they almost have like a glossy finish to them when they dry, so it's kind of cool to add just a little bit of a shine to some of the pieces. So I love using all of those. They have a ton of colors. I have a great big pack of them. Something else I've gotten into is just pens. These are like a pigment paint pen kind of thing. They're really cool because they have a brush tip, so it almost looks like, you know, you're painting over the top of it, which is really cool. So that's kind of nice. You can also use paint pens, you know, any other kind of pen that you really like. It's entirely up to you. And then these were a gift from a friend of mine because she never used them, so she gave them to me, and I kind of really actually enjoy them. I'm getting to use them more often. It's an art crayon. So it's just a watercolor crayon, basically. So you can actually just draw on there whatever you want to do with your marks. And then you can add a little bit of watercolor to make them spread around. I mean, water should make them spread around like a watercolor. Or you can actually use a matte gel to do the same kind of effect over the top of that. And it also seals it at the same time when you use the matte gel. So that's just kind of fun to play with. You can just, these come in 100 different brands and things like that. So, you know, you can use whichever ones you want on that one. Okay, and my absolute to die for way to make mark making and texture is to use tissue paper, napkins, stamps, and stencils. These are probably my all-time favorite step of the entire process, whether it's journaling or making an actual mixed media piece. I love adding these textural elements to it. It's so much fun. It's my favorite thing. So basically what I do with the tissue paper is I will either use it plain like by itself, so it gives it texture to it, and you just put that on with your matte gel. Or I, most of the time, will customize it. This one here, I just used a stencil of some roses and painted it on with some acrylic. You could also stamp onto this or something. It makes a cool textural element, but all the white basically disappears when you put the gel medium on there. So that's really a cool way to add texture and mark making to your pieces. So that's one of my favorite things to actually add on there. The napkin is exactly the same. You tear off all the layers except for the top one, and then you use your matte gel on this one, and it leaves this really cool pattern on your pieces. But it also, because it's wet, because it's a wet medium, it kind of almost makes it transparent, so you can actually see, you know, kind of everything that's underneath of it that you're using, which is phenomenal. I love using that because it creates multiple layers. And then stamps. Stamps are one of my favorite things to use for everything. I love them. I just use them on all kinds of stuff. I have a bunch of writing and phrases because, again, I love writing on my pieces in the background and stuff. And then I love like textural elements. So these are kind of fun because it looks like a texture even though it's flat. Excuse me. And then what I will typically use to put down my stamps is a stays on ink because I actually want it to stay because I use a lot of wet mediums and everything. So I don't want anything to bleed or rub or smudge or anything like that. So a stays on is pretty fast. It dries within a couple of seconds and you don't have to worry about it ever smudging. So that's why I kind of use that one. And then lastly is stencils. I absolutely just love stencils. They come in thousands and thousands of patterns, kind of just like stamps do. So they're really fun. Tim Holtz has a lot of stencils that I actually love because it got a lot of really cool, you know, texture and dimension and awesome patterns. So that's kind of why I go with a lot of his because he's got some really cool things in there. And then these are just some stencils for floral stuff that I bought on Amazon. So you can kind of buy them anywhere and you can just, you know, choose whatever your preference is. If you love flowers, pick some flowers. If you want some really cool textural elements, you can pick those as well. It's just really fun to have a variety of them so you can kind of just, you know, do whatever your piece feels like that particular day. Okay, so hopefully you had fun kind of going through my stash and seeing what I kind of play with on a daily basis. Hopefully it helps. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out about any of the pieces and I will try to answer it as best as I can, okay? Have a great day, guys.